Norah Jeruto, who competed for Kazakhstan at the World Championships, won gold in the steeple in Eugene, has been suspended for a biological passport violation. Now, you might remember Jeruto from running the semis in 9:01 and winning by such a large margin that we thought she might have confused it for the final, but then she didn't. And she came back, and we thought she could break the world record in the final. She didn't ultimately break the world record, but she ran one of the fastest times in history. So she's been provisionally suspended. The women's steeplechase between her, Rucha Bet recently as well, a lot of gold medalists have been suspended. We'll wait to see what happens from here.
Yeah, she didn't run much after.
I don't think she ran at all, did she?
Yeah, I don't think she ran at all. So that's probably
that gives you a hint as to
what
was going on.
Something fishy was going on.
Yeah.
But
she also didn't run in Tokyo because she was waiting for a transfer of allegiance from Kenya to Kazakhstan. But yeah, I'm looking at her 2023 results right here, and after but she ran in 2020. She ran in 2023 once in indoor 3000 in Kazakhstan. She ran in the Asian Indoor Championships. But after Worlds last year, she made one appearance on the roads, and that was it. Again, in Kazakhstan.
So when you say biological passport, what does that
violation?
Mean?
Yeah, they're creating markers throughout time, and any sort of abnormalities that they see, it gets flagged, right? They create a baseline of what your levels should be at, and then they go from
too much testosterone?
It could be a couple things. I don't think in the release it didn't really go into it yet, did it? I don't think it did. So it just said it says use of prohibited substance method ABP. So that's athlete's biological passport.
Will her medal get revoked?
I guess it depends when the ABP violation occurred, because they can't, if they can prove it was occurring during the World Championships, then yes, but if not, that's going to be difficult.
Who would have gotten upgraded?
Be Getachew, right, into the gold, and then who was bronze?
Yavi of Bahrain.
Well, Yavi was fourth.
Yeah, so she would move up to third.
Abebe would go to.
So Ethiopia would end up going 1-2.
1-2, yeah.
Man, right. Ethiopia women's distance is insane.
It's very good. Very good. While we're here, do you want to talk about the other AIU ruling?
Yeah.
Going out of order here, too, but bib swap. So you said, hey, we should talk about this bib swap story. There was this punishment for athletes swapping bibs. I thought it was just some shenanigans.
And like a local 5K.
Yeah, or a marathon in this town cracked down on people switching bibs, because it is a thing now. Some people sell the bibs. Some people, they get hurt and they give it to their friend and they run, and there's this whole, if they run a fast time, they're like, oh, did they
Some
really?
people do like relays with their bibs.
Oh, they hand it to another person.
Yeah, it's like first half of the race, you run the second half of the race.
Yeah. Again, all that stuff, it's in a little bit of a different world because it's more in the recreational department when it comes to running. I mean, some of those people run fast, but we're not talking about pros here. But this story was actually one that came about from the AIU, where an athlete swapped bibs, used another athlete's bib. So it involves Camilo Santiago of Spain and Ivan Zarco Alvarez. So Zarco Alvarez gave his bib to Santiago to run at a marathon in Germany. And the end result was Santiago, wearing Zarco's bib, ran faster than the Honduran record, which is where Zarco is from. The report says the day after the race, first of all, if you're running that fast, you got to be pretty brave to swap a bib, not thinking anybody's going to recognize you. Even if you're not a global superstar, if you're running quick times, someone out there is going to know. And that's what happened. There was a Spanish running website, Soy Corredor. They said, hey, that's actually Santiago running with that bib. That's not Zarco. And then that led to an apology later. And then they said that Zarco was suffering from plantar fasciitis. And then Zarco contacted World Athletics and said, hey, you know that time that you have written down for me actually belongs to my friend, Mr. Santiago.
But they only said, they only asked for them to switch the times after they got caught.
After the report came out, according to the
it's like,
AIU.
oh, yeah, we meant to. We just haven't sent our email yet.
Yeah. So this is, I'm going to read this from the AIU report. Santiago and Zarco told the AIU investigation that Santiago's bag containing his bib number went missing just before the race, and they explained to the race organizers that Santiago would run in Zarco's bib. Meanwhile, marathon organizers said, quote, no official would have indicated that an athlete could swap race numbers, and there were race number printing facilities at the starting point of the marathon.
Race number printing facilities.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't think that's available to everybody. That must just be available to a select group. Wouldn't you think?
There's like a desk with like a typewriter.
Because everybody then would be like, oh, shoot, I lost my bib.
Yeah.
People would procrastinate. Oh, I'm not going to go to the expo. I'll just get it from the race
printing
bib
facilities by the start line.
So they admitted it, accepted the punishment, which is 6 months.
So here's the thing. Clearly he thought they could get away with it, right?
According to the AAU, it says they were caught in a public forum, demonstrates that their conduct was unreasonable and it brought the sport into disrepute. The bib swap was an intentional arrangement for the purpose of altering Mr. Zarco's marathon results.
You have to. Did he think like, oh, no one will notice because
the race was in Dresden, Germany?
What's the finish like? Was he like leading, or was he like finishing in a pack where he kind of be like, oh, it's somewhere in the pack?
But there's so many photographers out there. Also, I looked at this race. It was a legit race. The winner was 2:10 with like runners I recognized on the men's and the women's side. This wasn't a tiny little race where nobody would be aware of elite runners. If you could find a small marathon where people would be unaware of top marathoners in another country. This was not it.
Also, he's the first one ever to have an out-of-body experience watching himself break a national record.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
got to watch himself break a record.
Yeah,
imagine if Sydney could watch her run 51 seconds in a 400 hurdle.
Yeah.
With but not, she just get to be in the stands watching. Like, was he cheering for himself? Was he like, go.
Well, I don't know. Did he have plantar fasciitis or did his bag get stolen? I don't know what's going on.
I just want to know what was going through his head during those 2 hours of watching his bib run.
Is there a chance they just were really good friends and the guy didn't want to pay the entry fee? But then he accidentally ran so fast that he broke the national record of the other guy's country? Is that plausible, do you think?
Or
I like to see the good in
in
people.
The same country? Then it'll be interesting because then it's like, did they disqualify his result?
Yeah, I couldn't find it on there.
That doesn't mean he did run it.
Yeah.
You have a performance-enhancing bib?
Maybe I didn't find it farther down. This is also from 2021. That's the other thing I realized. This is not new at all. I mean, they released it.
But it's great that AIU is really diligent with their investigations.
I mean, they're
taking 2 years to figure out a guy swapped the bib.
But on the other hand, it's just like, if they catch you doing this, they're going to catch you doing everything. I think it's good advertising.
This is a public service announcement.
Exactly.
We are so meticulous with our investigations.
Yeah.
We will see if you don't wear proper, if you do you think they're like saying like, hey, you weren't allowed to wear like the wristwatch? Like, are they start getting involved in like high school violations?
No.
Where they're wearing headphones on the infield or like their bib numbers on the wrong side of their jersey?
This is legitimately something that should be called out if it alters a national record. Don't you think? I think it's important. I hope too there's a bib swap unit.
Ooh. Bib swap.
Gordon Mack, bib swap unit.
And it's like, you got to prove that you have the bib and it's like all wrinkled up.
Yeah.
And you go to like the one like room, the kids who like put all their bibs up.
Yeah.
And you're trying to find which one it is. And
yeah. CSI bib swap.
CSI bib swap.
I'm all about it.
No, but like, I just don't get the idea that he thought this would work. This is a foolproof plan.
Yeah. That's why I'm wondering, honestly, maybe that was unintentional. Well, because the guy ran so fast, you're thinking, all right, he has the national record.
Is he trying to get like a shoe contract? Go run for a race so I can get my shoe contract?
Maybe. He wants the record? Don't know. 2 years old
but
now.
But he wants the record so badly that he's going to not run for it? That makes I want to break this national record so badly that I'm going to sit on my couch and watch someone do it with my name on their piece of paper.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.